Hello, I'm Kevin Honeycutt, and welcome to another episode of Raising Digital Kids. You know, summer is upon us. It's an interesting time because we go places and do things we don't always get to do during the regular school year. And as we're taking those vacations and we're traveling and we're on the highway and we're doing those things, it might be an interesting time to start talking to your kids about journaling life. What Wesley Fryer calls being digital witnesses, right? Now they're doing this anyway, right? They're tweeting what they're doing, they're Facebooking what they're doing with status updates. They talk about their lives in these tiny little bite-sized chunks. But if we could encourage them to do anything that might be useful, I think it might be to have them journal life a little more fully. Talk about what they're doing, the experiences that they're having, and those sorts of things. And yes, they're taking pictures and they're sharing them anyway, but they're sort of out of context, and they're here and they're here and they're here, and that's okay. It might be fun to get them to start having a narrative, sort of that journal that's not a diary with personal feelings, but more about what I'm doing. So if you're at a restaurant, maybe they're journaling what the whole experience was at the restaurant. They take a picture of the food, put it in the story, and they publish that as sort of one piece, you know, one story. What are we doing here? We're sort of encouraging kids to be writers beyond the headline, right? Beyond the bumper sticker. More of sort of a deep story, to go deeper with the way they journal their experience. If you're doing anything that's a vacation that's tied to historic events, or visiting some significant place that has something to do with U.S. history, what a wonderful time to have them do that, because they'll take that stuff right back to school and probably get value from that. But even if they don't get value from school, the value of learning how to sort of see and say, to express what's happened to you, I think that's a tremendous value in a kid's life, rather than these sort of little comments that are random, which are fine. It's a neat way to sort of journal on the whole in a very sort of shotgun way. But I think if you want to encourage your kids to sort of be journalists in a way, and maybe they're photojournalists, maybe that's what they do. And see, kids who don't like to write, you know, how do you encourage them to write? Because it's at least still important in our society to be able to write a coherent email, right, without misspelling or without missaying. So how do you encourage a kid who doesn't want to write to write? And in my mind it is, if these kids take pictures, right, if they would just add a little caption to the picture, a little narration, a little description of the picture, maybe you encourage them over the summer to put together a digital photo book of their experiences with that little bit of writing, right? And if they write and they like to write, they may write a story that goes with each picture or each series of pictures. So if they're visual first, encourage writing. If they're writers first, I still would encourage visual. Take pictures to go with your story. So they begin to capture the life that they're living. I think that will serve them well in college. That will serve them well in any context where they need to describe or use words and sound intelligent through the use of words. So if you're doing those things anyway and having fun as a family, you know, having a focus around what the kids are creating, reading their journal in the car and saying, wow, that's really good. Oh, you left out that one part, sort of that one part, you know, where we had the dinner and it was really, so the whole family is sort of encouraging them to evolve sort of as a writer, as an explainer of life, as a digital witness. Anyway, that's an activity that I recommend for the summer. Thanks for watching this episode of Raising Digital Kids.